first two speakers up to the platform. When developing the programme for today, the team at the Nehru Centre suggested that members of the audience would like to hear something about major UK libraries with Indian collections that are not featured in the main programme of events. So I'm pleased to welcome Camillo Formigatti, on my right, of Oxford's Bodleian Libraries, and Craig Jameson from Cambridge University Library, who will each be giving you a 15-minute whistle-stop tour of the Oxford and Cambridge scene. Contrary to popular belief about the two universities, Oxford and Cambridge librarians get on rather well together. And indeed, Camillo is actually a Cambridge to Oxford import. So I'll hand over.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice presentation, and I'm honored to be here and given the opportunity. Okay, let's try it again. Yes. To talk about the wonderful collections of Indian manuscripts in Oxford at the Bodleian Libraries. I say Indian, but I have to confess I will focus mostly on the Sanskrit manuscripts because that's what I'm supposed to do. I started at the beginning of February, the 1st of February this year, so in considering the fact that there are more than 8,000 manuscripts, so I cannot really enlighten you about the whole of the collections, but I can tell you at least what I've been doing so far, which is, why doesn't it go on the next one? Okay. That's an interesting one, okay. I have to do it like this. A bit, sorry, it's a bit. Okay, so what I tried to do is finding the balance, because I am the John Clay Sanskrit librarian, meaning that I have two broad areas I have to work on. So one is I have to prepare the Clay Sanskrit Library Volumes Anthology, and I also have to consult for the publication of the ECSL series, the series of ebooks from the Clay Sanskrit Library volumes. And obviously I also have to take care of the Sanskrit manuscripts, which includes also outreach activities. So I try to structure the presentation accordingly. So okay, so the Clay Sanskrit Library Anthology. This is a provisional title and provisional cover for the anthology. This wonderful cover is actually a re-elaboration of a picture taken from a manuscript of Gaja Shastra, of a treatise on elephant lore, that is kept in the Bodleian Library. It was written in probably between 1870 and 1880, maybe by the Maharaja of Tanjore, but we're not sure. And this is was simply an example to show how we would like to treat the material, namely the Clay Sanskrit Library series comprises 56 volumes of Sanskrit works translated into English, and they have the Sanskrit on the left hand side of the volumes and the English translation on the right. So if you know them, so they are facing pages, and they are basically almost the whole of the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, and then Kavya. So everything that is Kavya, lyrical poetry, dramas, prose, and they include also Buddhist and Jaina works in Sanskrit, and obviously in Prakrit as well, at least the dramas and then some of the lyrical poetry. And one of my main tasks is to prepare an anthology of these volumes that aims to a wide readership. It will not include the Sanskrit, it's only the English translation, and the goal is to, so to say, I use the verb illuminating because it's I like to use this technical term because it will, obviously it's not a manuscript, but we will use the aim is to use as I say here, so the visual riches of the Bodleian Indian collections, namely not only the manuscript collections but also hopefully the archival collections, which comprise very nice pictures of historical pictures of India at the end of the 19th century. And the idea is to pair the chosen text with images from the manuscripts. The topics I've chosen for the chapters, I thought it would be nice to have a sort of meta explanation of Sanskrit literature already in the structure. So, and I've chosen to structure the chapters according to the traditional Sanskrit classification of sentiments. So it will be an anthology of rasa. I'm sure you all know them, so the 9 rasas, and this will allow me also to easily include the Buddhist and Jaina materials. So the second part of my work for the Clay Sanskrit Foundation is to, as I said, consult about the production of the e-books. At the moment, the idea is to publish 14 pilot volumes in e-book form. They're mostly Mahabharata and Ramayana translations, but they also include some dramas. I believe Kalidasa's Ratnavali. No, sorry, Abhinaya Shakuntala. Not sure if there is also Asha's Ratnavali, but I think there is. And the Jatakamala by Hari Ashura. 7 of these ebooks have already been published and they're available online if you want to buy them on several platforms. They chose to use to have an approach with facing pages as in the printed edition, which led to some problems in my opinion. I warned them, but because it's a fixed format and might cause display problems depending on your device. But now I turn to the second part of my job, so how much time do I have? 1 second. Okay, well that's good, so I still have 7 minutes, so well balanced. Okay, I thought when I came to the Bodleian libraries, I thought, okay, I have no idea about not really about the extent of the collections because not everything has been catalogued, not all manuscripts have been catalogued, and this applies not only to Sanskrit manuscript but also manuscripts in new Indo-Aryan languages or Prakrit or Mid-Indo-Aryan languages. So what I thought is, okay, if I should start, I should first of all get an idea of the situation of the manuscripts that have been already described in printed catalogs, meaning that they are accessible to everybody who can travel to the Bodleian libraries into Oxford, because most of these catalogs are also available online in digitized form. So I thought, okay, this is not the priority. There are, but a large part of the collections are described only in handwritten lists or catalogs, depending on how exhaustive they are. And the most notable is the Chandra Shamsher collection of Sanskrit manuscripts, which comprise more than 6,000 manuscripts, making up, I think, 3/4 of the collections of Sanskrit manuscripts in Oxford. And then I thought, okay, let's check whether there are completely uncatalogued manuscripts. And I didn't expect it, but there was new acquisition. So let's go through all the different typologies of materials. So, okay, I thought, well, the manuscripts in printed catalogs, they've been taken care of. I shouldn't really work a lot on them. But then I realized that it would have been good to start a survey of the BHPAC manuscripts in the collections, because they are often in a bad state, in a poor state. And here you can see an example. This is a very nice Kashmirian manuscript containing 3 texts, Vallabhadeva's commentary to 2 works by Kalidasa, the Meghaduta, the Cloud Messenger, and the Birth of Kumara, the Kumara Sambhava, and as well as an anonymous commentary to the Gatakarpara Kavya. I don't know what you think about the author, so let's say simply the anonymous Gatakarpara Kavya, or if you prefer to assign it to Kalidasa, it's up to you. And this manuscript had already been, as you can see, on one of the, I hope you can see it on one of the folios. It has already been repaired, but for some reasons unknown to us and also to the conservators, some folios were stuck together. So what I did was, with the help of the conservators, I interleaved each and single folio in the quires, and we moved it to another, to a more suitable box. This was one of this was the case, or the manuscript that had prompted me to do the survey. Then after this, we can go on to the manuscripts that are described only in written catalogs. And one of the major drawbacks of handwritten catalogs is that they are accessible only if you are in Oxford. So with the help of Dr. Evison, we managed to, actually she managed to procure the fundings for digitization, and what I've been doing now in the last 2 weeks was speeding up with image elaboration, because obviously they are photographed in TIFF, so which means very heavy images. So I'm creating light PDF versions with bookmarks that can be downloaded by everybody, even if you have if you don't have a broadband. So because I'm creating 2 versions. Then uncatalogued manuscripts, and then what I did was simply go through the hand list. I read a hand list of manuscript, which was quite boring, I can assure you. And I found out that there are more than 370 completely uncatalogued manuscripts. What I can say, I started having a look at them. So they build up different collections. The Johnston Evans Vance collection, as I call them. So they are mostly Bengali paper manuscripts from the 18th, 19th century. Then there are 5 uncatalogued manuscripts on BHPAC. And I discovered that there are still uncatalogued Sanskrit manuscripts from old collections, which actually should have been catalogued and then described already in printed catalogs. And going through this hand list, I also found out that we have very nice writing instruments, which are good for the next for the next point, which is outreach. But there is a new acquisition of the Digby collection. It's a bequest with more than 60 paper manuscripts, including illuminated manuscripts. They are mainly Jaina texts in Prakrit and several new Indian languages. There are some Sanskrit texts, not many, but the writing instruments are important for outreach activities, because, as you can see, apart from obviously hosting successfully one Shikshapatri Darshan already. There is one this coming Sunday again. So the Swaminarayan community from Cardiff is coming for a darshan. But as I was saying, so other outreach activities were introductory Sanskrit manuscript classes for Oxford students, and this is when this writing instrument may come in handy, because you can show them directly to the students and not only describe them how they incise the palm leaves, for instances. And we also hosted two Buddhist manuscript seminars with Andrew Skilton from University College or University King's College, both for London as well as for Oxford students, and the focus was on conservation of manuscripts in different materials. And I hope I can keep up the, I hope, good work so far, and I believe time is over. Thank you.